Just check with Ria and Bhavani, and we'll begin. Yes, Kaustubh, you have done? Seen the recording?
Yes, sir. Recording is not yet uploaded, but I had called Bhavani and she explained me overall. She explained that you have done a derivation of SXT,
Derivation of S60.
some kind of derivation. I'll have to see.
No, so that was just one sum in which a derivation that we have done in the form of TPX was partly asked in the form of SXT. But SXT is nothing but TPX. So the examiner can sometimes ask you in a different form, and if you can't join the dots, then you will think that, oh, this is out of portion. Right? So it's a very simple 2-mark derivation that was asked, but in a different, it just twisted around to ask. Okay, so you need to be mindful of that. All the derivations we have already done.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Did we do the derivation of EXC approximately equal to EX plus half? Did we do that?
Mm,
No, sir.
No.
That's a 2-minute derivation. We'll do that, and then we'll begin the next chapter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ria message will be joining. For Bhavani, the message did not deliver, I think.
Okay,
Internet.
no problem. They'll join. That's fine. What I'll do is I'll quickly do this derivation because it's self-explanatory. Okay, so we don't need to really worry about anyone needing be there to understand it. Okay. Now, if you remember, I'll just do it here only, but it's easier for you all to. Okay. Now, as you know, EX is expectation of KX, and EX, E circle X was expectation of TX.
Sir,
Yes.
can you share the screen? I mean, if you're writing something.
Sorry about that. Thanks for reminding. Yeah. So EX was expectation of KX. E circle X is equal to expectation of TX. TX was the continuous form. KX was the quartet form. Complete, or you can indirectly call it exact. Okay, don't use this in the exam, just for your understanding. And this is quartet. And this one round down. Yes. Now, if we say, if I define Jx to be equal to Tx minus Kx, Okay. Now, if I assume that people can die anywhere in the middle of the year, or sorry, anywhere throughout the year uniformly, UDD, right? What does that mean? I told you in UDD, what do we assume? That everything then happens in the middle of the year, average.
Yeah. Deaths will be constant.
What? Deaths not will be constant. Deaths are uniformly distributed.
Yes.
So I can say that on average, they happened in the middle of the year. Same for cash flows. If I say companies' cash flows are throughout the year 1 lakh per month. So in my calculations, I can say that in the middle of the year, they are 6 lakhs. Yes, that is how the concept of assuming everything happens in the middle of the year. Okay. So even if you do the mathematic version, 10 here, 10 here, dot, 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 10 here. The average will come to on June 60.
Half year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the same concept applies here. Okay. So what are we saying? They have defined Jx to be equal to Tx minus Kx. Tx is future lifetime, complete future lifetime. Kx is curtailed future lifetime. Okay. If we are assuming in Tx that because we don't know and we assume linearity between integer ages, that means I can say for Tx, some people could have died in the first month, second month, third month, so on. So average happens in the middle for Tx. So most of the times, Jx is approximately equal to half. Why? Because this is the round down version. And this is, if I assume linearity, anything can happen. So assuming half in the middle of the year. Now the same thing, if I apply expectation to this, so expectation of Jx, what have we calculated? Approximately half. Expectation of Tx is what? E circle x minus expectation of x. Yes. So E circle x is approximately equal to Ex plus half. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a two-step derivation. I have still elongated for you to explain it.
So we can say that Jx is a random variable between 0 and 1. So its expectation
Yes.
is 1/2.
Yes, correct. It's a random variable between 0 and 1 because Jx is defined as Tx minus Kx, not just any random number. Because we are defining Jx to be equal to Tx minus Kx. And that difference cannot be greater than 1. Clear, Tom?
Second step will be Jx is equal to Tx minus Kx, and Jx is between 0 and 1. So it's a random variable. Jx is a random variable between 0 and 1. So expectation is half, right?
Yes, sir. Jx is the result. Okay.
Yeah.
Tx and Kx you can make assumptions on. Okay. Jx as a consequence of Tx being for that x equivalent cannot be greater than, it cannot be greater than x and x plus 1. It has to be between that. Similarly, kx will always be x.
Jx can be a residue of Tx minus Kx, right?
Residue, no, mod of Tx.
Yeah.
Rounded down version of Tx.
And
for that corresponding x value.
yeah, Tx minus Kx is Jx is a residue of Tx minus Kx, right?
I don't know what you call residue, but yeah, leftover months from that, which comes
Yeah.
out to be half.
Between 0 and 1.
Yes. Okay. Clear? So I think with this we have completed everything in terms of derivations, every type of sum. You all did the homework. Last part was required. Only Ria and Bhavani messaged me. No one else has messaged me that the sum is done. Yes, homework done or no?
I didn't do. I didn't get time, sir. Sorry.
Okay. So it
The message that second part is 21.74, right? 0.2174. So it becomes 21.74.
third part was the homework.
Yeah, third part also done. It is around bit difficult. It is. I think it is 30.
It is what? 30.
Bit difficult.
Okay, why is it difficult?
Age by which 90% of insects are expected to have died, right?
So all you had to do was do 30 plus A. AP 30.
Yeah.
So why didn't you get it? You got it or you found it difficult? What are you saying? You didn't get the answer?
Yeah, approximately 30.
How can it be approximately 30? 30 is a given. It is above 30.
30 plus 30 plus 10 or something. Just a minute, I will just work out. I got it answer. Just a minute.
No, leave the answer.
14.8. 30 plus 14.8 comes around.
Yes, you got the answer. You did
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay, okay. So it's right, no? Then why are you saying it was difficult?
Yeah, I mean, not as direct as other things like I'm saying.
Yes, so that's the difference. No, I mean that's why they're not going to make it easier for you.
Yeah.
I think guys we've covered almost everything. Okay, Ashok, please be diligent in doing homework. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Okay, if you don't do the homework, then I'll have to come there to check your homework. That means who's paying for the ticket? You are. Okay. So then don't make me come there to track you. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're welcome to Kerala. It's a tourist place, no?
Who's in Kerala?
I'm in Kerala.
Tom is in Kerala.
I will come to Kerala. Anywhere you all want me to come, I will come. If you don't do the homework, then the ticket and stay will be invoiced to you. Yes. A free trip for me. Yes. So Riya and Bhavani did the homework. Tom did the homework. Ashok, please make sure you do it. Okay, if you're finding it, see, this is the time where you figure out. Don't wait till the last moment to figure out, oh, I'm not understanding. Then you'll call Bhavani, you will call Riya, and they'll be studying on their own, and then they'll not pick up your call. Maybe they'll pick up your call, but then I will instruct them not to pick up your call. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't leave things for end moment.
I had a very long day in the office yesterday, so couldn't focus on opening the book again.
I totally understand. When did my day start yesterday? What time do you think my day started? 7 a.m. What time I reached home? 11:30. In the
Similar.
night. Not.
My
Yes.
day started at 5 o'clock yesterday.
Yes. So
Ended maybe 11:30.
still here, no? Yes. So you have to do things. Unfortunately, every day in my diary I'm writing. Figure out which day to take day off, which day to take day off, which day to. At least you have 2 days defined.
No.
Start of Jan. 4th Jan onwards, I've not got a single day off working. Yes, so everyone is busy. But you are here for the course. You decided to enroll yourself. I did not force you. I did not pay for you. So if you made a commitment, then do it. Yes, because you've come here for the exemption. No, you want those exemptions, then this is the right way to go about it. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I know it will be tough. It's a very tough course. But you've committed. Okay. So any doubts in this chapter? Riya, Bhavani, Riya's to some I saw. Bhavani sent in the morning only, so I'm not sure. I didn't see the answer, but Riya got the sum right. Bhavani, got it right? 14.88.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The most common error you will make here is to not do 30 plus A. Okay. Or to leave it at 14.88 and not show it as 44.88. Because technically the question asked to you is how many days will the insect survive or whatever that is. It is not asking you how many days after 30. So please be mindful of reading the question. Don't be in a rush to solve. Yes, yesterday for both the sums, you all were in a rush and you all missed out key points. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, so today we can start with second chapter. Okay, so what this chapter covers, it will talk about censoring. Here we have listed down 7 types of censoring. Okay, plus it will talk about non-parametric estimations. So we'll focus on now. Till now what we have done, till now we have looked at parametric distributions. So we saw exponential, Weibull, Gomes, Maychems. We even touched upon two perks as a mention. But now, what if the data does not fit any distribution? Or the data isn't big enough for us to be able to figure that out. Or we don't know which distribution it falls under. Okay. So, or there are no parameters to be defined. So we are going to focus on non-parametric distributions after we look at censoring, because censoring is a key component. And then we will make our own distributions using the Nelson-Allen and Kaplan-Meier estimates. And then in this chapter, we'll also see the relationship between Nelson-Allen and Kaplan-Meier. Okay, so this is where bulk of your sums start. Now, in the first chapter only, I have laid the foundation for the second chapter, third chapter, fourth chapter, fifth chapter, sixth chapter. So now the pace will go faster. Okay. After censoring, once we start doing Nelson-Allen, Kaplan-Meier, we will be doing sums, a lot of sums. We'll be doing it in class. You will be doing it as homework. So Ashok, at least half an hour is needed for this subject as homework. If you are efficient, then 15 minutes every class. Yes?
Yeah.
Please prepare for that. Okay. Now, what is censoring? Does anyone know what is censoring? Not the censor board of Bollywood and Tollywood films.
Sufficiency of data. No?
Deficiency of data. Okay, could be.
The
Yes.
data missing or something like that.
Data missing. Yes, but missing data is I mean, I don't call it missing data is missing data. It doesn't exist. But where is it missing? When is it missing? That
Data
defines
missing,
whether
but we know,
it's
data missing when we know that where it is, it lies between some limits or something like that. Correct?
I didn't understand what you said. Can you rephrase that for me?
Censoring is a type of this thing, that estimation where, I mean, it's a type where estimation used to find estimation of parameter if we know the fully know the data correctly or something like that. Correct?
If we know the data fully or something
If we
like
don't
that.
know the data
See,
fully,
Tom, first of
not
all, you
know,
need to be
don't know the data fully.
from where you don't know. You don't know fully means entirely you don't know.
Some data we
See,
know, some data we don't know.
yes. See, I will tell you very this thing. I know most of the times, Tom, you understand the concept. Okay. But the way you explain it is very, you use the wrong words, if I were put it very bluntly. Okay. And if that is the case, then you will not be able to articulate well even in the exams and you'll lose marks. So please be mindful, especially in SRM1, you have to be very mindful of how you explain things. Okay. Missing data means two things. Missing could be interpreted as entirely missing. For that, I don't care about. If it's entirely missing, why do I worry? Okay. Now, say for example, if I am, let's take students and this course as an example. Okay. Someone joined the course and some of them left. Okay. Now, when those some of them leave, do I care about if they didn't even come on day 0? They just paid the money and they withdrew their application saying that we don't want to do it. Do I really care about their attendance? No, right?
No.
However, there are certain people who have come who are not coming to the class. Is their attendance counted? Yes. It is shown as absent. Yes. Am I tracking it?
Yeah.
I am tracking it daily. I'm marking them absent. Yes. Then the day they show up, I mark them present. Now let's take an example of few people who have paid the fees, who have come for 1-2 lectures. And then for the entire semester, they don't come. For whatever reason, genuine reason, busy, not busy. And then they withdraw their application, saying, no, it's not working for us. We'll not. You think they'll get their money back at the end of the semester? First one would have got the money back because he said at the start only, okay, I have given, but I'm not paying the full fee. I don't want to enroll. Give my money back. Okay. At the end of the semester, once I'm marking you absent, absent, absent daily, at the end, if you come, no, I want to withdraw, give my money back. I've already paid for 1 semester. Are they entitled for their money back?
No.
No. Did I mark their attendance as absent?
Yes.
They came, they attended few lectures at the start. Yes. And then they decide to leave the course. You say, okay, if you're not giving the money back, anyways, I'm asking, I just tried to ask because tried my luck. Anyways, I know I'm not entitled. And then I'm leaving. Will I mark the attendance in semester 2?
No.
No, right? So after now, when did this person get censored? Now, I know I've not explained to you what censoring is, but still asking you this question. Where do you think this person got censored in my point of view? Was it when he stopped coming and I started marking him absent? Or was it when he finally withdrew and didn't complete the course?
Withdrew. When he withdrew
When
from
he
the
finally did.
Sorry, Ria.
The
why-
time of absent, he's at the time of he is supposed to be present, but he is absent. But here he is in the role, but he is not coming, so he's absent. So that way we consider him as a censored.
So you're saying the moment he starts showing absent is censored.
Yes.
Okay. Ria, sorry, I couldn't hear you because you spoke at the same time as the show. What are your views?
I was saying when he withdrew from the post.
Later. Okay. Bhavani, why is your camera off today, Bhavani? Slept late, taking a snooze now.
No, sir.
Okay. Now, so what are your views, Bhavani? Kaustubh?
Yes, sir, after withdrawal only.
After withdrawal. Okay. Bhavani?
Yes, sir. After withdrawal, it would be counted only after withdrawal.
Okay. Okay. All right. Now, so most of you are right. Tom, censoring won't happen because he is being marked as absent. That is my observation of being present or absent, but he is not officially withdrawn from the course. Okay. When the withdrawal happens, then the censoring is assumed. Till the time the official withdrawing doesn't happen, then or withdrawal doesn't happen, then he is part of the course. Okay. Now, for example, he says, okay, I attended first semester. Okay. And he gave the exams also. And by the grace of God or luck, whatever it is, he passed also all 4 subjects or whatever, how many subjects you are. Okay. Just passing marks he got. Then he didn't show up for one semester. Okay. Then he says that, okay, I'm happy to pay fees for second semester also, third semester also. You give me KT or give me whatever, and I will give Sem 2 papers also and Sem 3 papers also. Now, once he joins the observation, is he still considered censored? And this, the project or the exercise or the hypothesis testing that we are doing is about how attendance influences your exemptions, for example. So what am I tracking? I'm tracking how attendance influences my exemptions that student get. That's my project or my trial. Okay. So in this case, what do you think should happen? Will he be censored for the entire Sem 2 as absent or any other thing that you all can think of?
I think we should consider, because the hypothesis that we will be calculating, comparison between the attendance and the exemption. So he's already enrolled, he will be writing exams. So that means we should be considering, even though he is not present throughout the sem.
Okay. All right. Others, Bhavani, Ria, Tom, your views?
Once he out of the experimental study and then he came back, he cannot be considered censored.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll include him, you're saying, right?
Yeah, we cannot include him because he's out. He's out for a certain period of time. Then he came back again in the experiment, so he cannot be considered as censored. Should
Okay.
So
So,
we don't know.
first of all, I'll not give him the admission. Okay. Second of all, even if he gets the admission, okay, I cannot, in good faith, skew my own data. Okay, because God knows what he did in those 6 months. I don't know. Now here, it's a basic thing like exemptions and attendance. But the real world applications are efficacy of drugs, vaccines, sleep studies. So they all in a controlled environment. I can't let someone roam free for 6 months when I'm doing a clinical trial on their cancer and then say, oh, 6 months, yes, sir, I went on a cruise. YOLO, you only live once and I need to go and I need to live my life. So I went partied and now I'm happy to take your drugs again. Doesn't work that way. Yes. So there are two types that you need to understand. The first example in the first semester, the first type in the first example was this, that I have the observed data and from here at the end of the SEM 1, the person is now censored. And this observation, he is present, 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 absent, 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 absent. Yes. Now I cannot take censoring from here, even if he tells me that, I'm not liking the course, maybe I'll not come. Why? Because he's not formally withdrawn. Yes, because he is not formally withdrawn till the end of the semester. Okay. So I cannot make assumptions on yes or no. Clear to everyone? Secondly, in the second example, just an extension of this. Yes, Kaustuv, 1 minute, I'll explain and then I will take your question. This is end of SEM 1, SEM 2, SEM 3, SEM 4. Now in this, he's got censored, he's left here, and then he's saying, I'll come back here. These are my attendances. Now this type of data is called truncated data, where part of it is missing. Okay. If it is missing, and another condition that I know about. Yes, then this is called truncated data, and this has no use in my study. Because if this type of pattern exists, first of all, it shouldn't exist in my experiment. And if I see, then this is not censoring, this is truncated data. We don't include truncated data in our experiments. or in our calculations here. So no one who's leaving the experiment can come back in. Okay, clear? And in censored data, the first observation is until we know for sure they have left, we cannot assume or we cannot say that because they were absent from this date onwards, we will take the censoring from this date. Okay. In this second example, say for example, he had not withdrawn from here. He just didn't pay the fees. Okay. He passed all the papers. Maybe for financial reasons didn't enroll in SEM 2. Then next year he comes and says, sir, financial reasons. That is why I didn't do. Can I get readmission? Can I get SEM 3? Maybe not. We'll say, okay, you come back in SEM 2. Once SEM 1 is over and you can resume. Or if it is a valid certificate and he ended up paying fees, if he's not well, so he enrolled for SEM 2 also, but he was not well and full semester missing, and he's not formally withdrawn, then that isn't truncated data. Then that is just, and that is not even censored data. Why? Because he's not withdrawn. Okay, he paid the fees, then fell ill, and health didn't come for the entire semester. So he'll be marked as absent, 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 absent. And on that grounds, he may be allowed to sit additional exams, subject to which he may go to SEM 3. So you see the difference. This example is not censoring and not truncation. Why? Because he did not formally withdraw. He was still being marked as absent throughout. Yes? Clear to everyone? In the second example, because he withdrew and he wanted to come back, I will not give him admission only. So it's truncated data, but truncated data is no use. And if he's withdrawn at the end of the semester, then his attendance is counted for the entire SEM 1. I will not say, Array, but from this attendance only is gone. No. There was a reason why he's withdrawn. Maybe he didn't like it. Maybe he found it to be difficult. Whatever the reasons may be. I need to capture that in the data. Yes? So that absenteeism remains. Okay? So certain assumptions here in our experiment, in the assumptions that we take for this chapter, we are assuming that once the life is censored, it is not coming back into the study, which means there will never be truncated data in our study. Yes? We will not make assumptions of when the censoring happens. Okay? Only once we know, we know. Okay? So let's take another example. For example, if I am going to now this is a real life example. Okay. So once my mom was admitted in last year, July, she was admitted to the doctor. Now, when I went for the emergency, I went to a hospital far away from my house because that was my GP said that in case something goes wrong, you go here. Now, when I went here, they assigned me a surgical doctor on admission. And I was like, why are you assigning me a surgical doctor? Because a surgical doctor will want to do surgery. Right? I'm not here for surgery. I'm here for management. So, Of course, the doctor was pushing for surgery, 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 surgery. And I was like, no, 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 no. Because I had my specialist also already consulting on the side, second opinion. Okay. So I said no to surgery, etc., etc. So when I got discharged, they asked me to follow up with this doctor after certain days. Okay. But I didn't go to this doctor. I went to my doctor, second opinion. Okay. So technically, I did not come for follow up. Okay. Follow up one. Now, coincidentally, on my way back from Ahmedabad last month only when I had gone, the doctor was in the same coach as me, coming back by Vande Bharat. So I spoke to him. Oh, my mom was admitted under you. So he asked, "How is your mom doing?" I said, "She's better now. We're doing physio every day, and she's rigorously doing all these things, and she's much better." He said, "Okay, okay." Does that count as data for him? It doesn't. Why? Because I didn't show up for the follow-up one. Now, same example, if we skew a little, if I'd gone for the first follow-up, okay, and our experiment is about tracking time to recovery after hospital discharge. Now, follow-up one is after 1 week. I go, he says, okay, Vivek, looking good, come back to me again next week. I don't go. Now, 4 months later, I meet him in the train. And he asks, Vivek, how's your mom? I said, all good. Does it mean my mom has been good throughout and he can mark, oh, follow up 1, follow up 2, good, follow up 3, follow up 4? No, right? My mom would have been censored after that first appointment. Yes, having this additional data has nothing to do with him. Why? Because I've gone to the other specialist after that. In the real life example, I didn't go to him only. So am I even part of the experiment? Yes, Ashok.
No.
I am not part of this experiment because the experiment starts after discharge. And I didn't go for follow-up one only. So why will he say that at follow-up one, Vivek's mom was censored? He'll not use Vivek's mom in the experiment itself. Because I technically never went, never enrolled. Yes, so this is not censoring. Yes, clear? Okay, and there is a big difference. Now, what is censoring? Censoring is the event that is other than the insured event. What do I mean by insured event? My area of interest of the experiment. Yes, clear? Okay. In most of the cases, in the sums, you will assume the insured event to be death. However, most of the examiners are very smart and they don't give death as the insured event to confuse you. Yes. For example, if I say I am trying to study recurrence of COVID-19. In that, death is a censored event. If it happened for any other reason apart from COVID-19. For example, if that person dies in an accident, then it is not the ensured event. You understood the difference? The ensured event is as per my definition. Yes. Another example would be that I'm tracking. Okay, let's take this example only. Student attendance. Okay, assuming this is a physical course. Okay, not an online course. Okay, and he wants to attend the course. He's come every day, but his dad got a transfer, so he has to move cities. And his dad says, "No, beta, we cannot keep you here. We have to take you with us." Now, this is censoring. Why? Because he wants to attend, he wants to come, he's been good with his attendance. But now the entire game has changed that I have to move cities. Now, in this example, will I say he left because my course was difficult, or teachers were not good, or for whatever reasons? This is just a censoring. Because the person had to move cities, they couldn't attend anymore. Understood? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
So now, any doubts on when the data is truncated? Any doubts on censoring? And just for your visual representation, I will draw it for you in my amazing artistry skills. Okay. If the person enrolls, and then beyond the data is missing, means I have only data till here. Okay. This is censoring. Okay. If this is the data I have, this is truncated data. Okay. And because we will never ever let someone with, as long as I know. So I wrote missing and I know it. Okay. Then it is truncated. I will not let them resume here. Okay. And now, say for example, because I've taught you this, you all know this. So you will say that yes, we don't want to come. We may withdraw. You don't officially withdraw. And you say, okay, you take a fake certificate, you come, say medical, and you never withdraw from the course. Then it is neither censoring nor truncated, because you will resume directly in SEM 3. But this is entire, and then retracking. Yeah. Second entire semester you haven't come, but you've paid the fees. You don't tell me. You were chilling, taking a vacation. You got a fake medical certificate. You said yes, I couldn't. Then I'll say okay, no problem. Third semester, give exams again. Third semester. But same thing here. You would have sent withdrawn, and this you would have not got admission in SEM 3. Yeah. So this entire thing of present, absent, then again re-attendance or whatever, retracking you, is not censoring nor is it truncation. It is just me tracking you. You were present for this semester, absent for this. Understood the difference? Yes. So 3 types I have covered. Entire block of missing data is truncation and it is not covered, not part of the experiment. Someone who enrolls but never really comes and withdraws initially is not part of the experiment at all. Clear? Okay, these are all the examples that are there. Now let's read what censoring is. Yes, Kaustubh, please read.
Yes.
You can
Censoring
see,
is
should I zoom? Should I zoom a little bit?
no, it is visible.
Okay.
Censoring is a situation in which the value of a measurement or observation is only partially known. Censoring also takes place when a value occurs outside the range of a measuring instrument. For example, suppose a study is conducted to measure impact of a drug mortality rate. In such a study, it may be known that an individual's age at death is at least 75 years, but may be more. Such a situation could occur if the individual withdrew from the study at age 75, or if the individual is currently alive at the age of 75.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. Thus, the subjects said to be censored if they are lost to follow up, if the study ends before they die or have an outcome of interest, if the researcher doesn't know for how long before the study the subject had been facing a particular condition or disease.
Okay. Now the second point here, I don't agree with, but because this was not made by me, I will not go and negate someone else without reason. But my reason to say this is that when the study ends before they die, part is fine, or have an outcome of interest. Now, because I don't know what they define outcome of interest as, what is that outcome of interest, I will modify this and I'll say that have an outcome which is other than the insured event or other than my area of interest. So if this is a death study, which is it is, I will not include death here. Dying isn't censoring. Dying is dying in this experiment. In the
If the
end,
death is due to other reasons, as you mentioned, then we should be excluding that.
that is a very complex example.
Mhm.
Complex example. This is a basic experiment. This I'm just measuring death. Yes. If I'm just measuring death, what am I doing? It could happen for any reason. Accident, natural causes, unnatural causes, whatever reasons. Yes. But when the death happens, where do I record it as? Under death column, not under censoring column. Clear? So it is not censored. Clear? If I am measuring something else altogether and death happens, that could be a censored event. Because my experiment was about something else. We'll see more examples as we go. Okay? You'll see sums that are designed this way to confuse you. That's why I'm not giving you the answer right now. So that when you see those sums, I'll see if you make that mistake. And if you make that mistake, then you'll remember it. So I don't want to give it away directly. Yes?
Yeah.
And the third point is, if the researcher doesn't know for how long before the study, the subject had been facing a particular condition or disease. This is an example of left censoring. Left censoring occurs very rarely. Okay. But at the same time, as a result of left censoring, we may not include the person in the study. So it isn't censoring at all. So it's debatable. Okay. What do I mean by that? For example, you would have seen when COVID-19 was happening, there were some people who volunteered to be guinea pigs for the COVID-19 vaccine. Okay. The terms and conditions were that you should be fully fit. Yeah. Now, while coming for the experiment and before you enroll, there are some pre-medical checkups. Okay. During those checkups, there was this interview of this person who found out he had heart murmur. Now, heart arrhythmia, heart murmur, very common. Many people have it. Doesn't really impact, not much, basic things, right? But that disqualified him from participating. Now, is this censoring?
Yeah, because he's not part of the experiment.
So then why are you calling it censoring?
He's not there from the beginning itself. So he's not.
That is not censoring. He is not part only of the experiment.
It's completely excluded.
Yes, he's not counted. It's like someone telling me, sir, I want admission, I've secured a seat, but never paid the money. Yes, sir, I'm paying. Yes, sir, I'm paying. Can I attend lectures? Yes, sir, I will pay tomorrow. Can I attend lectures? You think college will allow him to attend? Maybe 1-2 days. But if he never paid, why should I skew my data? Formally, maybe out of emotional reasons, we made him attend first 2 lectures. But if he never formally enrolled, will I count him in the data for my absenteeism and whether they were present or not? No.
No.
Understood. So in this case also, this guy was not allowed to participate in the study. So this isn't an example of censoring. This is an example of nothing. He's not part of it. It doesn't exist for me. Why will I track him? There were hundreds of people who would have applied. Only 5 made it. My job is to start with the 5, not worry about the other 95. Understood? Yes. Now from the 5 people that I am tracking, okay, there was this one test, for example, that takes 2 weeks to give a result. Okay. But the doctors believe, I'm making this up. This is not a real life thing now. This is hypothetical. But the doctors believe if all your other parameters are in check, that the probability of this test coming as positive is close to 0. And because time constraints are there, they have decided to enroll this person in the study. However, if it is positive, then he cannot be part of the study. Okay? Or he will have to leave the study. Now this person is perfectly fit. They're tracking him for 2 weeks and the result comes positive. Okay? And they've tested it 2-3 times. From 2-3 samples that they've taken, all 3 are positive. Okay? Now, is this person part of the experiment or is assumed to be censored? He's not dead, guys. We're not observing 2 minutes of silence for him.
He's a part of the experiment.
He is part of the experiment. But we found out 2 weeks later that he had some disease. Now, this disease, this person also didn't know he had. And we don't know how long back he got it. Now, this is an example of left censoring. See, very rare case. I have to make stuff up. That means before the experiment, someone had something that they didn't know about. And this happened to me. So I wanted to become a pilot. Okay. At the age of 17, I'm sitting in Bangalore's Air Force Medical Station, and they call me in for the eye checkup. And I can't read. I'm like, okay, must be something in my eye. Happens. I waited for 1 hour for that my number to come. Then I rub my eyes and I'm trying to see and I can't see. Then I start panicking. Like, what? I can't see. Can't see. Why can't I see it properly? That time I didn't have specs. That is the day I discovered I needed specs. So I didn't know that I had specs. I don't know for how long ago I needed it. But that is the day I discovered that I have specs. I don't have 6x6 vision. Yes. Automatic disqualification from Air Force. You can't have specs. Otherwise, if I don't see the target properly, I'll bomb the next building. Yes. But then as a commercial pilot, you can have specs. Yes. So some of you whose number is, you all have messaged me. So whoever's number I've stored till now, you would see my DP. My DP is next to the plane. Because whenever I go to Dubai, I will go to Ras Al Khaimah, I will fly the plane and I will come. Because I didn't become a pilot, but I like flying. Yes. So this is an example of left censoring, very rare. Does it happen? Right? So don't ask me too many examples, difficult to make up. But I've given you the example of it. Okay. Then so now I've already given you example of, so now there are 8 types of censoring. Okay, book says 7. I'm telling you 8. I've written left on the left side. Let's start guessing. What do you think the others may be? Let me see how you're intuitive. Yes, right, because I've written left. Has to be right. Kaustubh is right. Yes, then. What else?
Center. Left, right,
Center.
center.
Not, yes, center. But it's not called center. It's called where is it? It's called interval. So I'm writing it in the middle. Yes, then I've already given you some insights into where you can guess. At least next 3 you can guess. I gave you an example of people leaving because course is tough, teachers are not good, etc. etc. So what type of censoring can this be? Yes, like I don't know this answer, but I'll switch off my camera. You define what type of censoring this is.
No, sir, actually.
Just kidding, it's fine. Tell me, think.
So for random questions or any particular people?
What did you just say?
So random question or anybody can answer.
Okay, you've given the answer already, but okay, you can answer.
First is if they are lost to follow up. That one you mean?
No. Any, what 8 types?
Oh, 8 types. Yeah.
So Tom gave this answer indirectly. So I will give him the benefit of the doubt. It's called, I'll randomly place this anywhere. Called random censoring. What else?
Sir, anything related to available information, like as you said that
Yes.
both is tough and like I'm not able to articulate it in a particular word.
Non-informative and informative. Okay. Which is the most common disease in India, in the world?
Diabetes,
Which one?
type 2.
It's so easy for you to remember. If you link it with do you think I remember this by heart? You wake me up from my sleep 10 days later and or 100 days later, you ask me what it is, I'll tell you all 8 of them. Mind map. Yes. So left, right, interval, informative, non-informative, type 1, type 2, and random. Yes. These are your 8 types of censoring. Clear? Now, here you don't see random mentioned, but random is random. Almost everything is random. Okay? How many of you show up for class? Random. Yeah, randomly yesterday costume didn't come. Yes? Clear? Now, so what are these? Let's see what right censoring means. Right censoring means that beyond a certain point, I stop getting your information. So, because time is on the right side, future is always to your right. Yes, from a timeline perspective, it is called right censoring. And as you can see here in the diagram, that when the event has happened, it is marked as event, not as censoring. Which is to my earlier point. I said that is why I disagree to this entirely. The event is not counted. Clear? Yes, Bhavani.
So
Go ahead.
so right censoring, there is a threshold limit is there. We are fixing.
No, I am not fixing in right censoring. I will tell you when I'm fixing. Not in right censoring. Right censoring means that beyond a certain point, I don't have this data available. Now, it could be a consequence of something. Okay. It could be a consequence of me stopping tracking you in 2 years. Okay. Say, for example, I'm tracking when do you guys become actuaries. Okay. Now, it will be rare that someone enrolls in this course, gets the 7 exemptions, and at the same time simultaneously can clear the remaining 6 papers also. But if my area of study or my experiment is about, does anyone become an actuary within the 2-year time frame, then that means that after 2 years, I'm stopping tracking you. Yes, that means that you are right censored because I chose to stop. Clear? But the fact that I have chosen to stop, okay, and that is predetermined, which means I'm saying that I know this is a 2-year course. In 2 years later from this, I will stop tracking. Then that is called type 1 censoring. When there is a predetermined stop time decided before the experiment begins, it is called type 1 censoring. And as a result of type 1 censoring, everyone still remaining in the experiment become right censored. Okay.
This type 1 is a generalization of right censoring, right?
No. Right censoring is, some right censoring are a consequence of type 1 censoring. Understood the difference? Okay. Ashok, read this part. We'll deep dive further.
Right censoring. A data point is above a certain value, but it is unknown by how much. Right censoring is the most common occurrence for lifetime data. It means that we are not certain what happened to people after some point in time. This happens when some people cannot be followed the entire time because they were lost to follow up or withdrew from the study. For example, we consider patients in a clinical trial to study the effect of treatments on stroke occurrence. The study ends after 5 years. Those patients who have had no strokes by the end of the year are censored.
Okay. So not the best of example to right censored with. Okay. For example, a better example would have been that end of each year, after 3rd year, people who have got no strokes withdraw from the study and go take a vacation because they feel they are healthy. So they don't wait for the completion of the experiment. They just withdraw after year 3.
So the other example which you explained, if we qualify within 2 years, then you will be excluding that. So what type of censoring it is?
No, I will not be excluding that. If you qualified, then that's an area of interest. That is not censoring.
Okay.
My experiment was to see if you qualify. And if you have done it, that's the event.
Okay.
Then I will track. When did you finish? Was it in SEM 4, SEM 3, 30th day of SEM 4, 90th day of SEM 4? That's an event. That's not censoring.
Okay.
Because once I have achieved the area of interest or documented that area of interest, do I need to track further? If the person is already qualified, Do I need to track him now? What you're doing next?
No
Do I
need.
still call him at the end of every month? Arey, but now what you're doing next? Arey, tell me, arey, what you're doing next? My area of interest was to track his qualification. That is done. I stopped tracking. Why do I need to invest my energy into this now? Understood the difference? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Better example in this same example would be someone who finds the core stuff and at the end of SEM 3 withdraws. That is right censoring.
Right sensor.
And if he withdraws as a result of the course being tough, then that is informative censoring. Because he's giving me some information on why he's withdrawing. Yes. And if he's withdrawn at the end of SEM 3 because his father got a transfer, then that is non-informative censoring because he would have stayed, but because of this change in circumstances, he had to go join another college. That is non-informative censoring. Yes. And in our two estimates, Nelson, Allen, Kaplan, Mayer, we will assume that all censoring is non-informative. Why? Because informative censoring kind of creates bias. How does it create bias? I'll tell you. Now, in this example, if this person withdrew because he found the course tough, that means it is telling me the people who remain in the study are smarter than him. Because otherwise, they would not be able to cope. They would have also left. Or they would have been forced to leave by official means, year drop, multiple KTs, repeat exams. Understood?
Sir, I am finding it confusing in informative and non-informative.
Okay, what did you find confusing?
Like in informative, we discussed that the course is tough, and following that information, he withdraws out. And in
Yes.
non-informative, you said that some transfer, but the
Yes.
transfer is also an information, right?
Transfer is an information, but is it information on the credibility of the course or the student?
No, it is a sudden event.
Yes, it's a normal random event that would have happened. Yes,
Okay.
it is not. See, in everything that I say is information, is data. But is it information with regards to the experiment I'm doing? No.
No.
That's why it is non-informative. And like I said, informative somewhere creates the bias. For example, if I see, okay, one person is leaving and now the average of the class has become higher because the person who was not so smart left, I should make the course even tougher. Or for example, I'll be like, oh my God, I'm afraid. What if I lose more revenue? I will make it easier. That is why we don't want informative censoring. Because informative censoring makes me make certain changes or tells me something that I shouldn't know or increases the chance of me skewing the data. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So what
sir,
is the difference?
yeah, I'll
Yes.
go first. So if the student withdrew because the course is difficult, then that is informative censor.
Yes.
So
Because we are tracking, if we are tracking exemptions and we're tracking the uh, toughness of the course or the how difficult the course is.
so
Yeah,
other
that's our
than
experiment.
yeah, if withdraw is for different reasons like father transfer or something, that is non-informative censoring because it's
Yes.
not
In
related
this
to the
case,
study.
yes. In this case, even death is censoring.
That is non-informative.
Yeah, because
It's not related
we
to
did. Yeah,
difficulty of the course. Yeah.
and it's not an insured event
Ah.
because my insured event are exemptions. Yeah. So in this case, that is a censoring.
Yeah. Now it's clear. So.
Understood. Yes. Yes, Ria, please go ahead.
So how what is the difference between right censoring and informative censoring?
No, what do you mean by right censoring and informative censoring? It's not like one type of censoring can't be both. Okay. When there is type 1, there is right censoring for sure. There is random censoring also for sure. Okay. And there is non-informative censoring for sure. In this, just because of type 1. Okay. So it's not like they can't coexist. So why are you asking this question is I want to understand. Can you give some more context? What
Like
confused you?
the example, like he withdraws the course because he finds the course tough. So how
Yes.
is it right censoring and also informative at the same time? That got point confused.
Right censoring is at beyond that point, from the point where he says I'm withdrawing. I don't know anything that happens to him. And from a timeline perspective, that is on the right side. And he's given me that information that I'm leaving because the course is tough. That is why it is informative. But most of the censoring is also right censored, unless it is left. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Even type 1 also can be right censoring.
When there is type 1,
There is a
type
predetermined time.
1 type 1 initiates right censoring for everyone else in the experiment that are still being tracked. Yes. So till year 5, those who remain in the experiment, because year 5 was the year in which I predetermined to stop, I will. All other people are right censored. And the people who remain in the study randomly, because I don't know at the start, they are random censored also. And this is also non-informative censoring because it is not specifically giving me any information. It's just that experiment ended and that's why censoring happened of those who are still alive. Yes. Think of it as a marathon. Till the time you finish the marathon, I'm tracking your time to complete the marathon. After that, if you go running home, I'm not tracking your time. I've stopped tracking your time. I'm also tracking people who leave midway. I'm also tracking people who die during the race, who get injured during the race. But beyond the point, if I know that the finish line is the finish line, then beyond the finish line, I'm not going to track you, right?
So that the diagram in the slide, which that represents what is that type 1, right? The behind it. So the maximum duration of the test, there is a point where they
Yes.
will be stopping. So that is a type 1 censoring.
Yes. Yes.
And that also can be right censoring because after that there won't be
Can
any.
is it is everyone who's still remaining is right censoring. Yes.
Yeah, clear.
Now, left censoring I already explained to you. It's a bit confusing, but continue reading.
Yeah, left censoring, a data point is below a certain value, but it is unknown by how much. This occurs less frequently. Left censoring is when we are not certain what happened to people before some point of time. Commonest example is when people already have the disease of interest when the study starts. Here we do not know the exact data of onset of disease. Can you
Date
think of
of-
a date of onset of disease? So can you think of a recent example of this kind of a disease and when such censoring might have happened? For example, as shown in the graph, subject 2, 5, and 7 are left censored.
Green is true time event.
So
Yes.
in
And as you can see, their entire duration is marked in red from the start of the experiment.
okay, in our
Yes,
students
technically-
example, if somebody took admission from the second sem, then that is left censoring, right, for the first sem.
Nah, you can't take admission, so that's not a factual example. The example that I gave you is the person who's perhaps not paying the fees only, or
That is a truncated.
yes, so that is, yeah, again you can say that that is entirely missing only. Say for example, I give you provisional admission because there has been some delay in your admission. Sorry, delay in your results. But you are a very good student. I know that you are going to pass. Okay. But by some reasons, you get a KT. That means you're not eligible only for this course. Now, when did the KT happen? We don't know. Okay. A very, very vague example. But because it happened, is left censoring. Because you came, you paid the fees, you attended, I tracked your admission. But then I realized that, oh, this is KT. This guy he has to wait another year. Okay. So I don't know when the paper was checked, when the KT results were jotted down. I only know that when the results come. And that makes you ineligible for the course. Okay. Then interval censoring. Continue.
So, interval censoring, a data point is somewhere on an arrival between two values. Interval censoring is when we don't know when exactly the event happened, but are aware of the interval of time in which the event happened. For example, we know that the patient was well at the time of start of the study and was diagnosed with disease at the time of end of the study. So when did the disease actually begin? All we know is the interval. So interval censoring, yeah, interval censoring can also occur if the observations are studied at intervals rather than continuously. For example, as shown in the graph, subject A is interval censoring between time 0 and 1. Subject B is censored in the interval of 3 and 4. Subject C is right censored.
So it is a
Yes.
combination of left and right censoring. interval sensoring.
Combination. No. It's just that you are tracking after a certain point in time. So you're not continuously tracking.
Observation.
Okay, so the example here would be doctor follow-up. First time I went. Second time I didn't go. So when did I actually decide not to go? Somewhere in between 1 and 2. Yes. So that is interval censoring. And when the experiment ends, that is not interval censoring, that is right censoring. Yes. Can you think of chapter 1, technical example in chapter 1 for this? Let me see if you guys can connect the dots. Yes, Ria, Bhavani.
Sir, is it the lifetime?
What lifetime?
The Q like TQX what we learned. Would that be an interval censoring? Because
What
it is
what about TQX?
like
Elaborate.
it is the time exact time the person is surviving between x to x plus 1 year. So
TQX में survival कहाँ से आता है?
sorry, death, exact time of death between x to x plus 1. So
if you know the exact time of death, then how is it interval? See, I know you know the answer, but you're using the wrong words. This is where you lose marks. Start again. Tell me. Try. You're going in the right direction. What does Q by definition mean?
like the TQX, the definition of that, the probability of a person aged X will die within T years if it is TQX. So
Give an example of 1QX.
example of 1QX.
Just now state it in the form of 1QX or QX.
Probability that a person will die within a year.
Within a year. Do you know the exact time?
No.
Yes, I just know that they were alive at the start of the year, but they were dead
At the end,
before reaching
1 year.
plus 1. Do I know the exact time of birth? Death.
No.
This is interval censoring. Yes. Well done. Okay. Because you've answered this question, you get 15 minutes of one-to-one free with me. Personal time whenever you want. Because you're in a hybrid course, we can only do it online, over phone, or this thing. Okay, anything you want to know personally from this. Okay, 1 year validity whenever you want in the next 1 year. Okay, remind me. Otherwise,
Yes.
yeah, cool. All right.
She will call in the middle of the exam.
At that time, I will not pick up. You need at least, with my schedule, you need to book that appointment slot at least 3-4 days in advance. Yes. Okay. Now, Why is this tab not working? Okay. Then we have type 1, type 2. So type 1, I have already told you. But what if what is type 2? Now, type 2 is, for example, if I design this course, okay, and I design it to be very tough, all right, and because of that, in the first sem only, like in 3-4 weeks only, 20 people enroll and 10 people leave. And they say, no, course is very tough. We can't manage. You're making us do, you said this is a hybrid course, and then you're making us do 8 hours a day. How are we supposed to do 8 hours per day plus do 8 hours work? Not possible. We are leaving. Will my course not fail? Yes.
Yes.
So, if I determine at the start that my course lasts for 2 years, at which point in time I will stop tracking, everyone will become right censored. This is an example of type 1 censoring. Yes. Or if 50% of the students leave, then it becomes financially unviable for me to run the course, or the course is too tough, or any other reason, I will shut the course down. The latter is an example of type 2 censoring. I have predetermined that if 50% of the people die as a result of taking my drug, which is supposed to save lives, then my drug isn't working. I need to restart or redo the drug, the components of it. Yes? Clear? So what happens in type 2 censoring? The experiment which is supposed to be for 2 years will be cut short, and in 3 months only, I will shut the course down. Because 50% of the people who quit, the remaining 50% again become right censored. Clear?
So,
Ask.
so does this type 1 and type 2 based on the errors that we learned in statistics?
No,
And
no. That is something else. Type 1, type 2, different hypothesis testing. Okay. So I think it is getting too heavy for you guys. We'll stop here today. And type 1, type 2, I'll again revisit, but it's very simple. One is the end of the study at a predetermined time. One is number of failures. Yes? Clear?
Yeah, clear. So type 2 is like next week we are expecting results. So nobody is passed in the exams. Then IAQ is decided to stop this course. So that is type 2.
Yes. Yes. If it was predetermined.
Okay. If it is predetermined distribution.
Yeah. Even for type 1, predetermining is important. That I am going to predetermine 2-year course. Yeah. Okay. Go through this. If you have any doubts, you let me know. Okay, but we'll revise again tomorrow and we'll finish, not tomorrow, whenever your next